Welcome back! If you're new here, my name is Kirtana and I love to talk about books. It's almost the end of the year and I've almost reached my Goodreads goal of 100 books. I think I'm at like 92 or 93 right now. I thought it'd be fun to talk about my top 5 best books of the year, but Romantasy edition. I generally read a lot of romance, contemporary. I read Romantasy. I also read thrillers, but I did read quite a few good romantasies this year, so I wanted to do my top 5, the ones that dominated this year for me. So I picked like 5 books. These are not necessarily published this year, but they are just books I read this year. And also, these 5 books that I'm going to talk about are not going to be in any particular order because I honestly can't pick. I love all 5 of them so much. I mean, if I really have to, I could pick like one to be my top most book of the year, but the remaining 4, I simply cannot differentiate among them. I love all of them so much. So yeah, let's just talk about them. So the first book I want to talk about is Heavenly Bodies by Imani Eriu. I actually don't know when this was published. So this book was actually like published in 2022, but it was self-published and then it got picked up for traditional publishing, and I think it got published sometime this year, maybe January, or I think in the UK it was 2024, but in North America I think it was 2025. So I think this fits. It was kind of published this year. But anyway, I read this book because of the hype on TikTok. So I picked this up and man, do I not regret it. This book was so good. This book has like magic and Greek mythology, like with the constellations and stuff. Oh my god, I loved it so much. The magic system was so unique. So in this book, Elara is like from the Kingdom of Night. She's like the princess or something, and she has like shadow powers, right? So there's this prophecy that is told where Elara and this star is supposed to fall in love, and once they do, it'll be like the downfall of both of them. So this really angers and worries the star, and he comes down to earth to destroy her and the kingdom. So during this war, Elara escapes and she goes to the Kingdom of Light, where she tries to convince the king that it's a good idea for her to like stay there. So they decide that she could be a weapon to be used against this star, and so they have to like train her to like be able to use her magic to the best of her abilities, and like, you know, also train her in like war and stuff. So the training is obviously appointed to the king's son, which is Enzo, and he wants nothing to do with her. So this is an enemies to lovers romance, and it's so like nice to see because we normally always see like the MMC being like the darker one, the one with shadow powers and stuff. Here it's completely the opposite because the MMC is the one with the light powers and the FMC is the one with the shadow powers. So that was really interesting to see. Also, the twists and turns in this book, the last like 20%, I want to say, you went through a roller coaster ride of emotions. Like, I was crying, I was happy, I was scared. It was just one after the other. Things just kept happening, and the ending, oh my god, it was diabolical. Like, I cannot get over that ending. I needed the next book like immediately. It was so good. It was so addictive. Like, I flew through this book. It was so fast paced and so much was happening. I loved the romance between the both of them. I loved the magic systems. If you like a little bit of Greek mythology and stuff in your books, you should definitely give this a go. And also, I think by the time this video is up, the second book in the series called Fallen Stars is already out. That's exciting. You can like read them back to back. I am definitely going to read Fallen Stars. I haven't picked it up yet, but I definitely need to read it. The next book I want to talk about is relatively new. It just came out, and that is Brimstone by Callie Hart. I read Quicksilver also this year. I think I read Quicksilver in February, and I thought that was one of the best books of this year for me. Like, already in February I was like, yeah, this is going to be one of the best books. But no, I read Brimstone and I actually like Brimstone a little bit better. Like, it's just a little bit. I rated both of them 5 stars, but I definitely did like Brimstone a little bit better. But this book, this series is so good. I literally just finished this book, but before reading this I also reread Quicksilver, and oh my gosh, I forgot how amazing it was. It was just so good. So I don't really want to tell you too much about the plot about this one because it is the second part and I don't want to spoil it for anybody. So basically in this series you get like fae, you get vampires, you get a lot of magic, there's alchemy, there's a lot of politics also. Kingfisher, who is the MMC, is the most possessive MMC you'll ever meet. I love Ceres so much. Like in the first book she was like amazing, but we were just getting introduced to her character, and I feel like in Brimstone she really came onto her own. She really became like this baddie, and she was so powerful. Like I loved her whole arc and how her character has developed so much so far. You also get really amazing side characters. Carrion Swift is for sure one of my favorite side characters of all time. Like I would love to read a book that's just his, because he was just so much fun. Just to like give you a short plot of what this book is about, what this series is about, because I'm going to kind of tell you what the plot of Quicksilver is. So basically this story follows a human named Ceres, who is our FMC. She lives in a very difficult world where the queen kind of, it's like a dictatorship where the queen kind of hoards all the food and water and stuff, and they have to fight for it daily. So she does a lot of stealing and things like that to like be able to get enough food and water for her family. And one day while she was stealing something, she gets caught and sent to the queen, where she finds like this pool, I want to say, of like Quicksilver obviously, and she activates it by mistake, and out comes Kingfisher, our MMC, who takes her and transports her to the Fey realm, which is where he's from, and he's Fey. Now she's in the Fey realm, and they discover that she actually has the power of alchemy, and so they start like training her to use her powers better, and she's like working with it more, and that's basically how the story starts. But the things that happen in the first book are insane, and then this book, oh my god. Also this book, I feel like the second half to like the last 20-30% also, there's so many things that happen. It was information overload. If anybody has not read Brimstone and you want to pick it up, I would say if you have read Quicksilver, still do a quick reread, because everything that happens in Quicksilver needs to be fresh in your mind before you read this, otherwise you're just gonna get really confused, and I feel like that just gives the best experience out of everything. Also, you should probably read the Kingfisher point of view bonus chapters that were released on Callie Hart's website. Also read that before you start this book. Very important to do that. Okay, now the next book I want to talk about is not a single book. I know it's kind of like cheating, but I honestly cannot pick. It is the series that I started reading this year. It is not published this year, but it's a series I picked up this year. I've not completed the series yet. I still have like 3 books left. It is definitely one of my top reads of this year for sure, and that is the Zodiac Academy series. I love this series so much. It has become so close to my heart. In fact, the only reason I haven't completed it is because I've read till book 7, and book 7 ends in such a cliffhanger plus like, I don't know, sadness, I want to say, that I feel like traumatized, and I don't think I can read 8 and 8.5 yet, but I will do it soon. I have to know what happens anyway. But this book has changed my life. Like I loved every single one of these books so much. Actually, that's not true. I didn't like every single one, because when I started it, I did not like the first 2 books, honestly. I started reading it and I'm like, I don't know if this is for me, because if you guys don't already know, these books actually start off as a bully romance, so that's generally not really something I enjoy. So the first 2 books, especially while they're like getting to know each other, it's a lot of bullying and stuff, and I don't know, I didn't like the MMCs at all. I hated all of them, and I was just like, what is happening? I didn't want to deal with this, but I just kept pushing through, because I read a lot of people say that just like get to it, like continue, you will see like it gets better, and it did. Like the 3rd book really caught my attention, and from the 4th book, I swear I couldn't put it down. The 4th book was so good. The 5th, 6th book was amazing also. Like every book also ends in like so much trauma, I want to say. Like it really breaks your heart, and you feel like there is no way that they'll ever get happiness, but then something happens again. I don't know, I still don't know. Like you just, when you think everything is going okay, like something really bad happens. Anyway, I'm getting carried away. So this book basically follows twin sisters. They are human, or so they think, and then one fine day somebody comes to them and they're taken into this other realm where there's magic. I think like a fey realm, I want to say. So in this world there are all sorts of creatures. There's like dragon shifters, there's vampires, there's werewolves, there's everything you can think of. Like any magical creature you can think of exists there, and they're all like shifters, and they also like have elemental magic. So these twins are actually taken to a to Zodiac Academy in this realm, where basically all these fays are brought to learn about their powers, to learn about their orders, which is whatever creature they can like shift into. So these twins are brought there, and when they're there, they find out that they are actually the lost princesses of this world. So they are technically the heir to the kingdom. Now in the school, they are basically training to take over the throne, but at the same time, you have the heirs that were announced for this kingdom because they thought these princesses were lost, right? So we have like 4 heirs that exist already, and they are not happy that these girls are back. So they are like continuously bullying them and trying to scare them to go back into their world and stuff. So that's how it starts. So when you start this book, you actually have like 5 MMCs, the 4 heirs, and you have like one professor. He's the guy who brings them from the human realm into this realm. So you don't really know who the love interests are going to be like till you like continue reading, and I'm not going to say anything because I know by now everybody has read this book and there are spoilers everywhere, but just in case, I don't want to spoil it for anyone. You should go in blind like I did. So it was fun to read it like that. But yes, I would say you have to push through the first 2 books because it was a little too much for me, but after that it got so good. The yearning in these books, the romance, oh my god, the spice, like it's insane, and the plot twists, and oh, and the like villain characters, you will never hate someone as much as you hate like the villain in these books. Like the strong feelings I have towards the villain in these books, I don't think I've hated anyone like this. But yeah, you will go through so many emotions while reading this book. You'll wonder if any of them can ever be happy, but it is so worth it. At least for me, I loved every single moment of it, and I cannot wait to finish this book. Actually, I think I will finish this series next month. I really want to. That's my like plan, so let's see. Hopefully I will. In this series, it's told like in multiple point of view, so you get almost everybody's point of view. You get the twins, you get the heirs, you get the professor, you also get their friends. You have like so many characters and almost everybody has their point of view, so that's very interesting. Also, I've never read a book that had so many different point of views. Also in this universe, I think there are many books. I think there are like 20 plus books or so, but I'm just going to do the main books of Zodiac Academy. So that is the 9 books that are released, plus I think 8 has an 8.5 also, and you have to tandem read those 2. So that's all the books I'm doing, so a total of 10 books because I cannot do more. Maybe later on I will probably read the other books, but for now I'm just gonna do these. Why does the light keep going on and off? So the next book I want to talk about is, if you've been following me on this channel, you probably already can guess. It's Alchemized by Senlin Yu. I have an entire reading vlog on this book, so if you want to, you can check that out. But anyway, this was one of my favorite books this year for sure. Like, I love this book so much. I have not read Manacled, so I went into this completely blind. Like, I had no idea what this was about. It is a completely different world. She has built a completely different world. This is a tragic love story, but it's also a dark fantasy. I would say for anybody who has not picked this up and you want to, please check your trigger warnings before you do, because it is dark. The world that she built was so beautiful, and the 2 main characters, oh my god, Kane and Helena, have my entire heart. I love this book so much. I cried so much while reading this book. Book follows Helena, who has been taken prisoner after the war is over, and like the bad side has won. So Helena is taken prisoner and she has lost her memories of everything that happened leading up to the war, right? So she can't remember it, and now the people who have won have decided that if she's hiding something in her memories, it's because it's vital information. So they need to like somehow get her to like remember that. They transfer her to the High Reeve to help her like get her memories back so that they can find out what she is hiding. That's basically how it starts. This was beautiful. That's all I have to say. It was so beautiful. I loved Kane and Helena. This world was amazing. The ending kind of broke my heart. I cried a lot during this book. It was so painful to read, but at the same time, it was so beautiful. Like, I can see myself rereading this many times. And this whole book, you will not get bored. Like, it's so intriguing and so many things keep happening, like you just want to know more. I don't know, I cannot like talk enough about this book. I love this book so much. And now the last book I want to talk about. This As I said in the beginning, out of all the books, if I had to like pick one book, right, this would be my one book. I cannot get over this series. This is my favorite series of all time, and that book is Onyx Storm. So this is the third book in the Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros. So you have Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and this is Onyx Storm. This one came out this year, January. I read this in like 2 days once it came out, and that's when I knew this was going to be my favorite book of this year. Imagine, in January, and now we are in November. I have read so many books since then, and this is still my number one book of the year. I love this book. I love this universe. I love everything about this series. Like, I just, yeah, this is my baby. Like, I cannot. I love this series so much. It's like my favorite, all-time favorite. Again, I cannot tell you too much about the plot of this one because it'll be a spoiler for the first two. But we have Xaden and Violet. They are the MMC and FMC. This series is so good. There's like war and there's like dragons and they're like dragon riders. And the best part for me for this series is you can actually hear the dragons talking. Like, you can read that. And I love that because each dragon has like their own personality. And that is so much fun. I love that part about this book. For me, though, this series has been one better than the other. Like, I loved Iron Flame more than Fourth Wing, and I love Onyx Storm more than Iron Flame. I know this is not everybody's opinion, but it is my opinion. I love this book. In this book, the way Xaden yearns for Violet, oh my god, it was top tier. I love. Like, I cannot stop talking about this book. I really cannot. The dragons are my favorite. The ending, the cliffhanger in this, like, broke my heart. Need the next book, and we have no idea when the next book is coming out, so we are all being tortured here. But I really want to read the next book so bad. I also think this is really popular and everybody already knows about this series, but just in case you want to know, this book is basically about this girl, Violet, and who has to join the Riders Quadrant, and it's like really difficult to do so. Like, there are a lot of challenges you have to face and you have to like survive it. So that is what happens in the first book, and this is just a continuation of the story since then. Xaden is the MMC. He's her senior and he does not want her there, so it's an enemies to lovers. I love everything about this. I love the side characters. Side characters is so good. Like, her best friends, Redok and Rhiannon and stuff, they're so amazing. I cannot talk about this book enough. This is like my favorite. If there's any book I always recommend to everyone, it will always be the Empyrean series. Before it was ACOTAR, and I still love ACOTAR quite a lot, but I think this one has surpassed a little bit, at least for now. We don't know how this ends, okay? This could go down, but I don't think it will because I trust Rebecca Yarros so much. Talking about it so much is making me actually want to reread this book. That's how badly I want to be back in this world. I love it so much. So that was my top 5 for this year, and I hope you got like some good recommendations if you haven't already read any of these. What are your top 5 or even your top 1 romantasy read of the year? If there's some book that you cannot stop recommending, please let me know in the comments. I would love to check it out. I'm always looking for more romantasy books to read. If you also want to know my top 5 books in any other romance genre, please let me know. I can make a video about that too. Don't forget to subscribe. Please do follow me on my Instagram and on my TikTok for more book content, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!